Welcome everyone to the Nerd Nook. I'm your host, Evan Teague, and with me, like always, is Noah Bailey. So, with HBO doing its thing, and Warner Brothers thinking to restructure that soon into its own, combining that with Discovery into their own streaming service sometime next year. Um, you know, Netflix being Netflix, Disney raising their prices, Hulu and Paramount and Peacock existing. Um, I thought it would be just fun for us to just kind of go over what we personally believe would make the absolute best streaming service. Um, Now you have a list of bullet points. I have a list of bullet points. I've spent a lot of time over the last week or so just going over all the different services, just kind of seeing what works, what doesn't, and yeah, I think we're gonna come up with something really nice. Um, where do you want to start? Like, what do you believe to be the number one most important thing to get right for a streaming service?
Oh, for me, it's 100% the player. Like,
Mm-hmm.
because if it is frustrating to rewind, fast forward, figure out my place, add subtitles, like stuff like that, I
Mm-hmm.
it almost makes me not want to use it as a whole. Like, there have been times where I've been so fed up with Disney Plus that I can't just it's unreal. But
Uh,
like, of course, I'm still gonna use it because it's the only place I can do. But it's like be better. So like for me, yeah, it's definitely the player.
mm-hmm. It is so crazy to me that Netflix, I believe, is the only one. If you're watching on the TV or console app, is the only one that lets you actually take the scroll bar and just move it. Because every other service, you either have to rewind 10 seconds or like hit the fast forward button and hope you stop at the right point.
Mm-hmm.
Like I,
And
mm-hmm,
it has the small little square to show you
mm-hmm,
the moment so you can see did I rewind too far or not. You don't have to just guesstimate,
yep,
which is ideal.
mm-hmm. That's like why doesn't is that too hard? Like you can do it on the computer, like you can take the bar and scroll, but
Mm-hmm.
you can't do it on the console app. Like oh okay,
Yeah. And YouTube has it too.
mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like, guys.
Yeah. And speaking of YouTube, I think there's actually a lot that YouTube does very well that
Mm,
others should take notes of, like um, the ability to use the arrow key, space bar, like use the keyboard to control the player.
mm-hmm.
I always really enjoy when services do that. Not everyone does. Like just pressing the back arrow key or the left arrow key rewinds 5-10 seconds.
5, 10 seconds, yeah.
Yeah, and YouTube even have the thing where if you press the comma, yeah, the comma button, it'll it'll go back just like one frame. You can skip around, but frames. Yeah,
What?
yeah. The
I did not know
comma
that.
period button. Yeah, they
Okay,
skip
I
that.
know that YouTube has a thing where if you press like the number pad, it divides it into increments and you
Mm.
can go to like things like that. But I did not know that there was a frame by
Yeah,
frame.
if you're ever watching
No.
a video where and if you're watching a video and uh, there's like you see like text on the screen for half a second, and even like slowing down the video just doesn't let you see it. Yeah, you can press the those buttons.
So good. And another thing YouTube does well, like you said, playback speed. I love that you can do that because you can
Mm-hmm.
speed it up or slow it down and make it work for whatever you kind of go through. So yeah, like you can see details better. You
Mm-hmm.
can notice. Oh, I didn't notice that before. Wait, go back, slow it down. Rewind, slow it down. It's like you don't have to just like think you did it right. Versus, like I feel like if they added that to more things, like streaming, that would be
Mm-hmm.
way cooler. Because I feel like more people, especially with shows that have a lot of Easter eggs, that
Mm-hmm.
would really, I think the fans would love
Yeah.
that. That'd be an ideal thing.
Oh yeah. I know Netflix has playback speed options, but I think they only go up to 1.5. I think it's only 0.50 or 1.5, whereas
Yeah, I think
YouTube has
so.
like 0.255.
Yeah, like
Zero. Yeah,
0.75.
it goes up to two, I think.
Yeah.
So
Yes, it does.
which is
Yeah, so maybe,
nice.
yeah. Yeah, YouTube has a honestly, yeah, YouTube has like a lot of things I had. It's like I realize YouTube does that, but
Hmm.
also does it better.
Yeah, autoplay on and off is also very nice. If
Yeah,
you want to just watch one episode of a thing, that one episode, and then it stops. It doesn't try to
yes.
autoplay the next episode and try to go something else.
Or the
Mm.
like kind of annoying thing Netflix does if you're just trying to look at a show and it's like, oh, you want to watch this? Throw and you're like watching it before you even want. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah.
Like, I like how they do the autoplay trailer. I
Hmm.
think that's great. But don't, if I click on it, don't just start the show. Like, just play the trailer bigger.
Yes. Yes. That is annoying. I think Netflix does
Yes.
a lot very well, and I get to that in a second. But there are a couple of things that I think other places do slightly better. But most of the stuff Netflix does is ideal. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I think there's a lot from just basic YouTube, which is a free service that most
Yep.
people don't even pay to use.
Everyone utilizes. That
It's
scares me. One day YouTube's not going to be free. That's like one of those things in the back of my mind that I know could be coming, and I'm really worried.
yeah, like YouTube Premium is an option, but for how long? Like I assume they make so much money on ad revenue they don't need to have it, but
Yeah,
you
but
know,
it's only a matter of time until it's not enough to satisfy them anymore.
yeah, that's a good point.
It's like, everyone makes enough money, but everyone makes a bunch of money, but it's never enough.
Yeah.
But
Um, Sticking with Netflix for just a second. One, so my roommate and I are currently watching through Breaking Bad, and there was one
mhm.
moment. It's on Netflix. There's one moment where there was a letter or something on the screen that we wanted to like pause and actually read because it just moved out too fast. Most services, when you pause it, I know HBO and Amazon do this. If you pause it, you can
Mhm.
like get rid of the UI entirely.
Mhm.
Disney Plus doesn't do that, but the only stuff in the UI is the lower like eighth
Yeah,
is
lower
covered,
half.
and that's it. Netflix, if you pause it, like more than half a
Everything.
second, it's just like everything pops up. Like
Yeah.
I don't dislike the stuff in the top left corner, letting you actually go to the next episode from any point during the episode.
Mhm.
Disney,
Seriously.
just
Like having to fast forward the credits to get to the next episode
mm-hmm.
is so stupid.
like it shouldn't be that hard just to,
No.
replay episode from beginning, skip next episode. Shouldn't be that
Yes.
hard. Anyway,
Or
that
continue where I was watching, but not just go right in. Just look at the show,
yep,
so I don't have to find it twice just to go to a different episode,
yep,
which is
that'd be
so
ideal.
stupid.
So I'm fine with all that being in the very top and the very bottom, but then like the description and other stuff like pops up in the middle, so we literally couldn't see what was on
Hmm.
screen. Like pause it to watch. Like that's the thing Netflix needs to
Yeah,
figure out.
there should be like a back out options button, like not fully out, but like like there's like an interface comes up that has all the things with
Yeah,
like next episode, this, that, playback speed, all
yeah.
that stuff.
Because I know HBO, if you just press
Because
down,
YouTube does that too.
yeah, if you for HBO, if you press down twice on your controller, like on the pause screen, the UI just goes away. Just that shouldn't be too
Okay.
hard, but
Yeah.
whatever. Um, uh, yeah, I do really like that Netflix normalized the skip intro button. I don't always use
Yes.
it, but just having the option to skip it is
It depends on the show, definitely. But yeah, having that option's great. I will say sometimes I'm trying to pause the intro and it automatically skips because it's just like
yeah.
it changes, which maybe that could be a thing. Maybe you have to like press it more than once, but
Yeah, I've gotten to the point where I essentially only ever use the dedicated play or pause button on the remote.
fair enough.
'Cause otherwise, yeah, especially on Disney Plus, that skip intro pops up as soon as the shows up. So
Yep.
I just hit them.
Just skip recap.
um, so one thing that I think uh, should be a standard for everybody, but like ideal for the service that we're creating. Auto playing to the next episode. We kind of touched on this earlier. Auto playing to the next episode should be easy yet user friendly. I think Hulu does this the best, where um, the episode ends, the credits start rolling, and the next episode's about to play button comes up, and it stays up there for 15 seconds. So you
Yeah,
have
more time.
15 seconds to decide if you want to keep going or move on to something else. Whereas Netflix, literally, there are times the episode has barely ended, and it's like next episode, like next episode. It's like
It's like 5 seconds.
like
It's
what
like
if I wanted to
because
watch
that
the
bar
credits
fills
or
up so fast,
yeah, what if I wanted to watch the credits or what if I wanted I had to
right?
decide if I wanted to watch the next episode. Yeah, like it's like,
Or honestly, like I don't know, because like my thing with autoplay is like I feel like you almost don't even need it because it's like I feel like you should have the next episode button,
mm-hmm.
but like unless I press it, just like because I want to watch, well, maybe I want to watch the credits,
Yep.
like I
But
don't
on
know.
Disney Plus, if the autoplay thing pops up, but you're not done watching the credits, you got to go back into the credits, and then there's no way to autoplay the next episode until so you have to fast forward the entire credits. So if
So
there was a button that said play next episode, or
you
go
could
to
just
episode
go
list
in
or
it.
something,
Yeah,
shouldn't be that hard, but apparently it is.
right. It's like apparently this is too difficult. Also,
Yep.
you know what I mean? And like, okay, now this one I was kind of because again I use YouTube for a lot of this, but it's
Mhm.
like on the computer on YouTube, if you full screen it, you can still scroll down.
Oh yes.
And I was like, how could I use this with streaming? Is there, because I don't want to necessarily scroll down, but it's like, could there be like a minimize player button, like kind of how
There is on
YouTube has?
Hulu. On Hulu, there's a
There
minimize play button.
is.
Yeah.
I did not know
Uh-huh.
that.
That's
Okay, because I
very
looked
nice.
for it on like Netflix and I looked for it on other places. I didn't check Hulu.
It's there.
But yeah, like a minimum, like it's like a quarter of the screen, and you can like
Mm-hmm.
see what else you might want to watch, but you still have it playing or something like that, or
Yep.
like, yeah, definitely something I would consider having like full time
Yeah.
for streaming.
Like especially if ideally you did have like a more sophisticated queue system or like a play like YouTube does like a playlist system. It's like stuff you want to show your friends later, like bundle
Yes.
certain episodes of a show together. Just I feel there's
Yeah, that was another
Go.
point I had.
Go.
But being able to make custom playlists,
Mm-hmm.
like that is absurd. Because like a lot of shows, like for me, like Clone Wars is not in chronological order, and I know Disney Plus has like the Clone Wars in chronological order, but it's hard to find. It's not always on there.
Yeah.
So if you could just make them yourself, or if you wanted to do like an MCU movie run, you could just decide, okay, I want a playlist. Give me this movie, this movie. We're not doing Thor 2. Give me this movie, this movie, this movie. No one saw this movie. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And do that, and then put them in. It's like, you know what? I personally like Black Panther before Spider-Man or whatever, like
Mm-hmm.
in whatever order you want, and then just go. And just go in that, or I think that would be awesome because
Yep.
it's like, yeah, I want just certain things, or like maybe you just want certain episodes of Clone Wars that only have certain characters in it.
Or
Let me get every Clone Coon episode and just put it on a playlist and go. Like I
That'd be
feel
nice,
like that
yeah.
should definitely be an option because I think you can put it in like my stuff or like my playlist or something like that, and you can name it too. I think you should be able to name it.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Again, something that YouTube has for free. You can just do.
Yes. Free. For now.
For now. Yeah.
As I said, honestly. But yeah, like I feel like that would be really helpful because there's been so many times where I've wanted to like show examples of certain things without having to like dig through it. And like if I could just save a playlist that has this stuff, that'd be so awesome.
Yes. So, if I were making a streaming service, I think the number one thing I would prioritize over literally everything else is, you know how when you watch a show and you watch a couple episodes and you're just not really feeling it, or you watch what you thought was the end, like you watched most of the credits, but it didn't actually remove from your continue watching thing. Currently, on every single service, there is no way to get rid of the continue watching icon unless you actually go to the last episode or to the end of the movie, watch the entirety of the credits, and then it will finally go away. I had Teen Titans Go on my HBO for the longest time because one time we were watching Teen Titans, and on our smart TV you just talk into the remote and say watch Teen Titans, and it said getting Teen Titans Go from HBO Max, and it brought up Teen Titans Go. So I watched the first like 3 seconds of a Teen Titans Go episode. So that was just on my dashboard for the longest time. I had to literally go to the last episode available, go to the end of those credits, and then it finally went away. I should be able to just.
And you know what's funny? It's in your watch it again.
I enjoy it.
It'll never be gone. Yeah, no, there should definitely be like a remove from watched or something like that.
Just right click or a little X or something, but
yeah, because like there was a show, I don't even know what it was. There was a show on HBO Max I accidentally clicked on because I didn't scroll fast enough. And then it's like, oh, I don't even know what this is. I don't want this. I want to get rid of it. And it's like, nope, this is going to be on your continue playing forever. You're just going to be reminded of this until it's, so that's a thing. But I agree. That should be like a get rid of it. And also like I think there should be more like, I want to say like, okay, so I know this is kind of a thing with Netflix. If you type in a certain like actor or person, their things will come up. But I think this should be a little more in depth. I feel like you should be able to like, show me, if I say, show me Kevin Hart movies, it should be like, okay, these are movies Kevin Hart stars in. These are movies he is like a supporting cast. These are movies that he does a voice. Like, it should be like genre specific.
Yes.
So like, I know it's not just, because not every Kevin Hart, well, okay, maybe Kevin Hart's not a good example, but like not every Will Smith movie is the same because, Men in Black 2 has a very different vibe than like I Am Legend. So I don't want them to be looped right together just because of Will Smith. So it's like, family Will Smith movies, comedy Will Smith movies,
drama,
action Will Smith movies. You know what I mean? Like different, they should be organized there. So like, because like on Netflix, it does show things they have with that person, but it doesn't like, if I want to watch my kid to watch something, it's not, I don't want to be like, I don't know. I haven't seen, granted that's on the person for not knowing movies, but I think it should just be a little more because it has so many genres anyway. So it just keeps the drama when searching,
Yes. And I agree completely that our streaming services search bar should be as sophisticated because Netflix's is magic. I had no idea if The Terminator or any of those movies were on Netflix. I had no idea. So as a test, I went on Netflix, typed in Terminator. The Terminator movies didn't show up. It gave me a bunch of movies in the same genre and a bunch of movies with Arnold Schwarzenegger in them. And even at the top, it was like recommendations for Terminator. Terminator 2 Judgment Day, Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines. Like, it knew what I wanted. It's recommending me movies that aren't even on its platform.
Well, it's great because it's one of those things where it's like, I am smart enough to know what you want. We don't have that, but let me offer you this excellent substitution. Like, it's like, that's service.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
So being able, and like most services, like HBO, I know for a fact, if you type in exactly, like let's say you type in Justice League Unlimited. I don't know. I haven't tried that one exactly, but I know there are other examples like. I can't think of any right now, but I know, let's just say you type in Justice League Unlimited. It is going to bring up only Justice League Unlimited. No other Justice League things, no other DC things, just the thing you exactly typed in. Whereas if I type in Terminator on Netflix, it'll bring up Last Action Hero, it'll bring up Commando, it'll bring up other action movies. Like, it's like, you don't have this. We don't have that. We have things with Arnold. Or we have things in that same, genre. That's cool.
Yes. Going a little step further. Now, this one was kind of like a wishful thinking thing, but like, you've had those moments when you're like, oh, what episode is the one where he does the thing, and then like with the search bar, I was thinking, what if you got like a certain show, like if you looked up, like if I was like, okay, what episode of Clone Wars is it when General Grievous says hello there? So like you look at a show and you can search like specific lines or a certain character, it can give you those things. Like it'll. I know that'd probably take a lot to do, but I feel like
That's cool. Yeah.
that would be so cool because you're like, wait, what's like, which is the episode of Teen Titans that has the red? And then you look at it, and it's like, oh, it's this one. That's right, because he says it, like, you know what I mean? Because like the amount of time, like, and again, it's usually something you can Google. Like there will be a website, be
Mm.
like this line. You know, there are websites that have like every line of every show, and you can just look them
Yeah.
up. So I'm like, theoretically, you could integrate that into the like it would probably be pretty advanced, but like you could maybe do that. But I
Yeah.
think maybe you could make that like show specific,
Mm-hmm.
almost kind of like searching in like Teams or like a text message, and it's like, what day did I say this to this person? And it's like, you said this on May 13th, and they're like, oh, that's right, I did say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Granted, we are we are going into this with the idea that we are a mega monopoly. We own
Oh, absolutely.
everything. Like every
Oh,
single
absolutely.
piece of content ever is on the service. Just
Yes,
baseline.
this is not a stream. It is the
The
streaming
streaming
service.
service.
This is there's only one now.
Uh-huh. So we have incentive to make it as good as possible because otherwise there's no other options. So
Yes, we're
yeah.
not going to be EA and just take it and just not improve it.
Yeah. Um, so, um, yeah, kind of going off of that, I really appreciate how Disney Plus, but especially HBO, has their like has essentially like different categories on the main page. Like Disney has the Marvel tab, the Star Wars tab, the Pixar tab, and then HBO has the DC tab, the Turner Classic Movies, the HBO Max
Cartoon Network,
Originals,
all those
yeah,
things.
Cartoon
Yeah.
Network, and they also have a genres tab that you can go directly action, comedy, etc. That's that's neat.
More categories to separate so it can be like, because again, certain people only like certain things. So it's like if I only want to see animated stuff,
Hmm.
there's the animated tab. If I only want to see Batman, you know what I mean? If I only want to see DC, here's everything we have on the DC and nothing else. So here
Hmm.
you go.
Yep. Um, let's see. I feel there was something else I had regarding that, but yeah, just generally making it easy to get to the things you want to see, while also like giving you at least knowledge of other stuff. Like
Hmm.
you do. Let's say you want to watch Batman: Brave and the Bold. That's this is a decent show. So it'll bring up Batman: Brave and the Bold, but it will also bring up a bunch of other Batman stuff as options, other like maybe comedy cartoons as options, like other stuff with the same actors. Like I think just allowing people to interact more with the services is
Hmm.
ideal.
Yeah. Also, the thing, I think it's Netflix and HBO Max, but it's like when you rewind, if you don't have subtitles enabled, it automatically throws subtitles up for the part you rewinded,
Oh,
which
really?
I always thought was,
Huh?
yeah. Have you never noticed that?
No. Huh? That's
It's like the coolest thing ever because it's like it picks up that you probably didn't hear. I'm not sure which streaming service it is. It's either HBO Max, Hulu, or Netflix, one of those three.
mm,
But yeah, if you don't have subtitles on and you rewind a certain part, it will put subtitles on for the part you rewinded for because it's like, oh, you probably didn't hear them. Let me make sure you heard it.
will it
So
automatically turn
like,
them off when you get back to where you were? Huh?
yes, it's
That's
very convenient. It's
very
really
cool.
cool,
Yeah. Huh?
actually. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Like it's that's really it's smart and it adapts to you, and I think that's awesome because
Mm,
like I'm a guy who subtitles. It really depends on what I'm watching.
right.
Like sometimes because like some shows I need to see everything, so like I can't look at subtitles. And
Hmm.
some shows I'm like, yeah, I want subtitles. This seems like a subtitles kind of show.
Yeah.
And then it's like, wait, if I don't want subtitles, wait, what did he say? Oh, okay. Because like especially with like certain characters like Whisper or like if it's loud or something. But
Yeah.
yeah, I always like that was really good.
Yeah.
And
Mhm. Go.
sorry,
Go.
go ahead. Yeah.
No, you go.
No, this is a totally
Okay.
unrelated
Okay. I was gonna
thing.
keep going a little more on subtitles.
Yeah, go ahead, go
Yeah,
ahead.
I think I'm pretty sure YouTube has the ability to let you like change the size of subtitles. So like
Ooh.
if you actually if you're sitting like further away and you need them to be bigger,
Mm-hmm.
that's ideal.
maybe different fonts too,
Yeah,
just to be
different
different.
colors, whatnot. Just some...
Comic Sans, like you know what I mean? Like, oh my
but yeah,
gosh,
like
yeah, different colors would be good.
yeah, just generally being able to allow as many people to enjoy the content as best as possible is very nice. So
Yes,
and
yes,
subtitles is a very important part of that. Also, being
yes.
able, kind of going off this, also being able to change the language of the thing, like mid episode, I think is also very nice. Like especially if we
Ooh, I
have a lot
like
of
that.
like anime and stuff on there, like being able to switch between
Mm.
the English and Japanese dub on the fly would be very nice.
Ooh, I do like that. That's a good idea. And like being able to like simultaneously change the subtitles along with it. So if I
Mm.
go to Japanese, get English, just be ready and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, I like that.
Mm.
You could even have presets. Even
Yeah.
I like
So like
that.
while we're watching this show, it'll be Japanese. While watching this show, it'll be
Yeah,
English, etc. Yeah. That's.
yeah.
Mm.
Okay. Now this one was one that I had circled because this is the first thing I thought of.
uh
The Amazon Prime thing where when you
Oh
pause it and it
my
shows
goodness.
you the people who were in
Oh.
it and every dude, that is the best thing. Like outside of like that is the best thing that only Amazon Prime does
No, that
because
was the first thing I wrote down too. It is
it
oh, it's
is the
so good.
greatest thing. Like, dude, it like the only thing I would change, the only thing I would change
Mm.
because I was rewatching some Invincible and this was the one thing I would highlight the person speaking also
Mm.
because a lot of times they'll be in a room, there'll be 4 or 5 voice actors in a scene,
Right.
and some people will sound alike or their characters will talk simultaneously. So like
Mm.
having to know to distinguish, like having specifically like, hey, who said what, like highlighting,
Right.
like just their name as and again, like, and I think instead of having it only when it's paused, like kind of having it. So I know on Amazon Prime, I believe it comes up on the left side.
I
So I
know
think,
I know on the TV app, if it's just playing and you press up, it'll pop up.
yeah,
So the people in the scene will pop up. And also
okay.
music, if there's any music playing, it'll tell you what that song is, which is also
Yes,
very
which
nice.
is also so awesome. That's how I found about that song in Invincible that plays whenever Titan's doing his thing. Dude, that song, which is
Uh,
a bop, by the
so
way.
good.
The song is an absolute bop. But man, like, no, that is the greatest. Like, I love that feature. That is like we have to have that. Like, that's
Yes.
like it's perfect because it makes you, not only is it good for like, oh, I really like this actor, but it really appreciates voice actors. I think especially
Mm-hmm.
because I think about Invincible again. Like you think that, wow, this person's, wow, Ray Gerfin's playing like 4 people in this show, or like, oh my gosh, like like not everybody, you don't realize how good at changing voices certain people are,
Mm-hmm.
and like you like, oh wait a minute, that's the person from this, or they're in this show also, and all the, what I mean, like that's Britta, what, like, what I mean,
Yeah.
like, what I mean. So it's just like, I don't know. It's
Oh.
really cool, especially with animated shows that have it. So like, yeah, having that for sure, and definitely the music thing, and then all, because I know when you have subtitles and music comes on, it'll usually say whatever by whoever is
Mm-hmm.
playing, but it's not the same as if you actually see the like cover art of whatever album it
Yes.
came off or whatever, and having the name and the year, and then if you click on it, it gives a whole synopsis of like, this song is from this album and the director thought this would be good because
Mm-hmm.
boom, and like, and if you go in on each actor, it gives you their like IMDb, whatever,
Yep.
like super into, because like that stuff makes you fall in love with just content,
Uh-huh.
because you will find a whole nother level to love.
Mm-hmm. And again, like bringing everything we've said together so far, if we do have it where where it can automatically go down to a mini player. Let's say you're watching a show and you know a character is talking and you find out it's Corey Payton. You're like, oh, like I've heard that voice before. What else has he been in? You can click on his
Yep.
nameplate. The show you're watching will minimize, and it shows up everything he's been in. Like here are other
Yes, and
shows
it'll
on
still
our
be
service that
playing in
he's
the,
been in.
yes, and it'll show you like, it'll be like Teen Titans, Cyborg. It'll be this movie, Black Light,
Yeah.
Black Lightning. Just like all like
Mm-hmm.
every different thing he's been in, and they'll tell you what character. And like, yeah, I think that would be so.
Mm-hmm.
And even if they sorted it by like major roles with Carrie Payton, minor roles, additional voice, or something like that, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
just having that all they do that, like, you know what I mean? Because it's like at that point, you're like almost a researcher. You're like almost like you're like going into all these things. It's like any single person on anything, you can find links to. Oh man, how'd you get into these kind of movies? Well, I really like this actor, and it turns out this actor is linked to this and that and that, and then that's how I got into these
Mm-hmm.
movies. And then boom, you're a fan of movies you'd never even heard of. It's like, you know what I mean? Like
Yep.
when I was watching, I was like Dr. Cox, like I really John C. McGinley. It's like, oh wow, he's really good. Oh, he has a thing for mostly only doing independent movies. Really, I didn't know that. And you look into the independent movies, and you're like, oh, I really like this movie. And then boom, 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 and then before you
Mm-hmm.
know it, you're watching some movie from 1982 you'd never heard
Yep.
of because it has one of your favorite people in it. And it's like, yes, that's how it should be. It's just
Yeah.
making connections.
Yeah. And while that show is playing down here, you can create Kari Payton playlist to do for later. Boom, boom,
Yep.
boom. These are all ball. I'll get to that
Yep.
later. Finish this scope. Like, oh,
Exactly. Like as it should be, man. This is and like I think that is so I think that's one of the I think that's the biggest thing. Outside of obviously like the actual playing of the content, I
mm,
think that's honestly one of the biggest things. Because like that makes it come a whole new level.
yes. Just being able to interact with the service in a way that invites the user to watch a lot of stuff. Because I know
Right.
for a fact HBO has dozens of, probably hundreds of shows and movies that I would like to watch, but I don't know
Don't
they're
know
on
it
there,
yet.
or I just don't have any interest right now. But if I actually
Right.
had some way of engaging with them before actually watching it, maybe I could like it.
Right. You would have something to look forward to something you weren't originally. Because a lot of like the amount of people like I used to not be a person who will watch something just because someone's in it.
Right.
But like the other night, I was like, you know what? What's on Netflix? I want to watch a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw 21 Bridges, and I was like, okay, that's got
Yeah,
Chadwick Boseman in it.
mm-hmm.
I really like it. And then you know what I saw was also in it?
Who?
J.K. Simmons, and I was like, yep, I'm
Yep.
in. I was like, that's one actor I really like. That is two actors I am in. Like I don't even like I'm in. I'm good. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched it. It was really good. So like,
Good.
you know what I mean? It's like, and having stuff like that, I think makes people not just like fans of content, but I think it just makes you. It almost makes you like a researcher. It almost like creates a hobby of
Mm-hmm.
I like looking into movies and like it teaches you about movies and what actors take what roles and why they take roles and why they pick certain characters and why then you realize, hey, this actor works with this director a lot. Maybe I like this director. And then you find out, oh, he's directed my other favorite movies that I didn't even know were connected. And then before you know it, you're like a film study genius, all from spending one Friday night not going out.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know what I mean? It becomes like it can become a hobby slash lifestyle with
Yes.
that interaction.
I also think, like, kind of going off that, yeah, if you can sort by director or by composer, like, I
Yes.
found out the other day
Bro,
Hans Zimmer
composer?
did the score for Kung Fu Panda. I didn't even know that. Hans
What?
Zimmer did the
No
score for
wonder I'm
Kung Fu
such a
Panda.
wow. I shouldn't be surprised, but I am. Like, really? Hans Zimmer
Really?
did Kung Fu
Yeah.
Panda? Like, it makes sense because that score is amazing, but
Uh-huh.
at the same time, but that's what I mean. Like, again, the music that would be cool. Like, what if like okay, so you know how movies release soundtracks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What if they had that? Like, they would be like, this is the scene that plays soundtrack number 8 from this person's album, like during lit. Like, that would be awesome to add too.
Yeah.
Right? Because music
Mm-hmm.
is so big, especially with movies. Like, that's so cool to have that. That would be so cool to have that. Yes.
Yes.
Hans Zimmer did Kung Fu.
Sure
You
did.
learn something new every day. I would never have guessed that. Like, it makes so much sense now that you said it out loud. But like between like The Dark Knight and like everything in between, like what else did this man do? This man did so much.
think And pretty much every single Christopher Nolan movie.
Yeah, of
Uh,
course.
most DC
Eldorado,
movies. El Dorado, yeah. Oh yeah, he did a lot of
Megamind.
early. He did Lion King. Um,
Yep.
I think he
Interstellar,
did he
Gladiator.
did he do Prince of Egypt?
Yep.
He
Oh
did.
yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Oh yeah.
that makes
No,
sense.
that one was too much
That
of a bop. You had to know. You know, that's like the ultimate. Like when I think of movie soundtracks,
that
that's the first movie I think of.
yes, like
That is,
every
oh
single
my
song,
goodness.
every single like music that
The
they
Da
use is
Vinci Code. Like, look at all these
yeah.
movies. Like, I, all these things. Like Crimson Tide. Ooh, Crimson Tide. That's a good one. Classic. Rango. I forgot about that
Uh,
movie. He did The Boss Baby. No.
sure, why not?
Why not? Just to put a. He didn't need it for the resume, but he said, you know what? Why not?
Because
I'm
you
due
asked so
for an
nicely.
animated comedy. But that's what I mean. Like stuff like that, you could really like dive in. Because again, not that it's the whole stuff, but like if I knew like there's an actor in this movie I like say I hadn't seen Gladiator, and I'm like, oh man, you know what? I really like with it's Mel Gibson, right? Or
No,
who
it's
is it?
Russell Crowe.
No, it's oh yeah, Russell Crowe. Right, sorry. All my point totally invalid. But no, it's like, what if I really like Russell Crowe? And I'm like, oh, Gladiator sounds pretty good. And then it's like it's like score by someone you like, Hans Zimmer. It's like, oh, I'm in. And then you can get suggestions based on either actors you like, genres you like, and composers you like, and
Mm-hmm.
then it finds the perfect trifecta, and you're like, this is my new favorite movie I never knew existed.
Uh-huh.
Boom. And like and then you're hooked. Like at that point, you just keep going. Like that's it's so it makes
Mm-hmm.
too much sense almost.
Yeah. Netflix also has a very fun thing that I found out recently. They have a surprise me button where if you don't know
Yes.
what you want to watch, you hit surprise me and it
Yes.
brings it to something completely random. Like
Yes.
I think I think we could take that one step further. I know I pitched this before, but um, the ability to essentially have five or six things like kind of running in the background at the same time as if you're watching like actual TV. Like, you have one episode of The
Ooh.
Office, you have, let's say, Kung Fu Panda, you have episode 2 Attack of the Clones, The Dark
Oh,
Knight.
kind of just like a just kind of like a created playlist just for like
Like,
watch stuff. Like
yeah, and you like flip,
I like that.
flip between them if like you think one part of this is getting a little boring, you can switch to something else and then back and yeah.
Interesting. I like that. And also, yeah, and also with the surprise me, but I think it should be like shows and movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could be able to be like, surprise me with something that's only 30 minutes long or no more than an hour long, an hour or less, or an hour and a half or less. So it's not like,
Yep.
surprise me, and then it puts on,
Avatar.
yeah, like 3 hour, puts on a 3 hour movie. And it's
I'd
just like,
rather watch
okay,
Avatar. Give me
yeah,
Avatar.
it's like I hope you don't have any plans because we're putting on the Lord of the Rings special edition. Like, okay, like like it's just,
Mm-hmm.
no. So like, yeah, I think that'd be really good to just kind of have like that because then I feel like if you've said it, if you only said it 30 minutes, you find a lot of sitcoms or shows you might not have seen before. It's
Yeah.
like. And again, it can cross-reference what you've seen and what it thinks you like based on what you picked, and be like,
Mm-hmm.
"Here, dude." And I know that's kind of what the autoplay kind of does, but I feel like it would be better because I feel like YouTube does that the best because
Yes.
YouTube be throwing stuff at you that they know you want, you just didn't know it yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's big if you could stream and could do that too.
Yes. Yeah, like that. I think that's mostly because of like Google's super sophisticated
Oh,
algorithm,
for
but
sure.
like, which is
But
kind of
still,
scary, but that's fine. Yeah,
it's like I mean, it's scary until you're like, oh yeah, no, they're right. I
they're
didn't know
right.
that. You know what I mean? So it's like it is what it is.
uh, um, let's see. Um, how do you, how would you feel about a comment section under any given episode or movie?
Nah,
No.
I mean personally, no, because like I don't. Okay, wait. No, let me rephrase. No, 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 because
No,
that I don't trust people. No,
that's
like,
fair.
and for one, I don't trust people, and two, that's what like IMDb and like Rotten Tomatoes is for.
Mm.
Because like I think it should give you links to like Rotten Tomatoes or like IMDb. You can like look up what ratings and maybe a couple of comments, and then can like go to internet or something if you want to see. But like
Mm.
on the actual service, no, because a comments people well, there is more than likely people are gonna like people are gonna look at comments before actually watching it, and
Yes.
then no one's gonna watch something just based on the first comment being like, I can't believe this person dies at the end, and you're just like,
Well,
and then your whole night is ruined because you were gonna sit through an hour and 2 hours and 15 just to find out that he was dead the whole time or something. You know
uh-huh.
what I mean? Because that's exactly because any movie that came out, that was exactly what would happen. Like,
Right.
so I would not because again, like I think a avoid spoilers because again, I think a lot of people would not watch it. I don't think if they saw comments, and also two, like no, because people ruin things.
Yep.
Just no.
Uh,
Just no. Like I can see a movie getting bullied off of Netflix, essentially.
right.
You know what I mean? So it's like just no, just no, just
That's
don't
fair.
watch it.
Yeah, I definitely feel the rating system is good to see, but
Yes.
comments are not necessary. Yeah.
No, we don't need
Yep.
comments. Like the ratings can be potentially good or bad, but it's like also I feel like the rate like I honestly don't really care for the ratings. Like I would like you can show like what Rotten Tomatoes and like Metacritic or IMDb, but like I don't want Netflix to have its own rating system because I think you should have your like things are different to different people, and I
Mm.
think if something is suggested to you, you would probably like it more than the average
Yes.
person would.
I like the way Netflix does it, where it's like this show is an 81% match with things
Right.
you've seen before. Like
Right.
that's
I'd
good.
rather have that than like this is 4 out of 5 stars. It's like, well, I mean, if it's a movie about something I don't care about, I'm probably gonna think it's 1 star. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, but if it's, superhero kung fu ninjas in space, I'm probably think it's 5 star. You know what I
That's
mean?
that's
So
fine.
it's
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people that sounds terrible. So I
Hmm.
understand that rating system shouldn't really because again, it's not universal. I think it should be very use specific because again, this is very integrated into the user. So it's like, and it would be weird because like you don't want anyone watching your profile because they'll mess up your system. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I have been talking with my brother just kind of off and on about this concept, and he essentially boiled down to everything that Crunchyroll does, do the opposite of that. Crunchyroll is a
except having everything because Crunchyroll
yes,
does have
yes.
everything.
Now that they merged with Funimation, they have everything, which is good.
Yes,
But
they do have everything now. Other than that, don't do
but
that.
they
Except everything.
they they have a terrible search bar. Like I
They
mentioned,
do.
Netflix earlier. I tried typing in Terminator horribly incorrectly. It still knew what I wanted. Like I spelled every other word, every other letter differently than it should have been. It still knew I wanted Terminator
No,
stuff, even though it didn't
I
actually have
remember.
Terminator. If you tried, let's say you wanted to watch My Hero Academia, if you spelled that wrong, it will not give it to you. It will
No,
give you
no. You know
nothing.
what's bad? No,
Uh,
I tried looking up Dragon Ball Z,
oh
and
no.
either I didn't separate the Dragon and Ball or did, and it could not find it. And I
Really?
was like, really?
Dra- Dragon
Like, and
Ball.
there's no autofill. That's the dumb thing. It's
Uh
like you know what I want. Like you know what I want. I don't like you know what we're here for. Like you know
huh.
what like there's nothing else that sounds even close to that.
But
Like you know what I want.
whereas, yeah, like Disney, while you're typing, it'll start like giving like you're talking
Yeah.
Spider, it assumes you're talking Spider Man.
Yeah.
It doesn't even know you want Dragon Ball. It's like okay.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like Netflix is like you'll type in the name, it's already playing in the background before you finish
Uh,
typing. And then Crunchyroll is just like, I don't know, I've never seen that in my life. And I'm
yeah.
like, yes, you have. You know
Yep.
exactly what this is.
Yep. They also have a comment section which can get kind of toxic. There's a way to
Yep.
like black out spoilers, but you have to manually do it. I don't trust people to
Right?
manually do it. Um,
And I feel like if you have to manually block out spoilers, you'll probably still get spoiled. Like,
yeah. and also at least at one point, I don't know if it still does this, but on the computer app, at one point, it is my personal biggest pet peeve for any streaming service. Disney did this for a while. Thank goodness they don't anymore. If you have the player big, and you hit the play button, the cursor needs to go away. Disney didn't have that for a while. I don't. Crunchyroll didn't. I don't know if it does now, but like the cursor, at least for a while, if the cursor was just on the screen, you would be able to it would just be there. It's like just go away. and like if it's all the way to the right and it's mostly gone, you can still see like a little black line, so it's not completely gone. You still know it's there. Like every other service seems to know how to do this. Just do that. But whatever.
It's a whole thing, and also too like yeah, like especially when like you don't like it's like I don't want to have to just manually put it in the corner. You should know that if it's full screen, I'm not trying to like I'll let you know if I'm trying to do anything.
Yep.
For now, just kind of fade and then come back when I need you.
Like if it's paused, sure, show it away. But if I'm playing, you can stay up there for like 2 seconds and disappear. That's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's also no skip intro button, which like I get anime intros have a different like prestige to them, but like.
But there should still be the option.
When you're watching One Piece and you're 1,000 episodes in, maybe you want to skip the intro.
Well, that's my thing. It's like yes, anime openings are pretty elite for the most part, but at the same time, yeah, it's like you're gonna want at least to kind of
at least have the option to turn it on or off.
Yeah, like the option should be there.
Yeah. Crunchyroll is also it's also incredibly hard to go to the next episode. Like, I like how at the bottom there's like episode list down below, but if you're full screen, you basically can't. Like it's
no.
Yeah.
You have to literally go out, go find the show again, and then go to the next episode. Like it's dumb. It's terrible.
So yeah, everything Crunchyroll does, just do the opposite of that, and you got a pretty good service.
Probably.
One thing kind of based on something we touched earlier, like I think it would be pretty cool if this service had a way to like celebrate anniversaries of like either a specific actor or of a franchise. Like when I think like let's say Batman's 85th anniversary, like of the character is coming up soon. So the top banner will be Batman's 85th anniversary celebration, or like Mark Hamill's turning 70. Mark Hamill movies here or something. I think that could be.
Yeah, like Star Wars and Batman. So that'd be cool. Yeah, I think that'd be cool. Like this movie. If Star Wars. It's however many years since the first one came out. Here, all the Star Wars movies and content. So that's a good idea. I like that.
Yeah, or like holiday themed events like Christmas, Halloween, Easter movies, or whatever.
Yeah, it will know like it's Christmas time. It's A Wonderful Life, and all these movies thrown at you.
Yeah, at least like a temporary tab you can click on to get all of that. I think that's cool.
Yeah, I think it'd be good to be temporary because it's like I'm not gonna want to watch this movie all the time and all, but like right now, sure.
Yeah. I don't know how many services do this. I know Disney has something like this. I think Amazon and Netflix do, but the group watch feature, where essentially as long as all of you have it, you can essentially like time to watch the movie together. That's really nice.
Yes, and then and you should be like having a feature where you can like. It's hard because it's like I kind of want because I want to be like I want to talk while watching it, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So like having a way you guys can like talk and watch it at the same time would be kind of cool. I'm not sure how they would do that, but
yeah,
like it makes more sense on a computer than it does on like
through a streaming.
TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, But I'm like, you
Kind
know,
well,
we
what you said kind of did kind of get the gears turning. One thing that I think is is a huge casualty of the streaming age is we've lost a ton of special features by having everything streaming. Like, before every single DVD or video that you would have,
the bonus content.
yeah,
Yes.
like there would be games on there, there'd be director's commentary, actor
Hmm.
commentary, trivia, like commercials for this movie, just like
Yeah,
things.
behind the scenes, everything. Like
Yeah,
this is how you draw this character, and like, yeah,
yeah. Now, like, I don't even know if those things are are largely on like a bonus
no.
feature
Well,
section.
I know Disney Plus kind of does the thing where they do like the making behind this show or something after the
That's
show
cool.
comes out, usually. But like, other than that, not
I
really
don't.
anymore. That doesn't really happen
Yeah,
anymore.
because I know on my like I have DVDs of the original Star Wars movies, and they have. I think the episode 5 has like the main cast commentary over it all. It's like that's cool.
That's awesome.
I don't think that's on Disney Plus, like, but
Probably not.
that should be there.
More than likely not.
Yeah, but especially those fake movies that keep getting put up on Netflix. Like, I'm pretty sure Six Underground doesn't have, you know,
No.
commentary
Although
from
that'd
Ryan
be
Reynolds.
really cool to watch Ryan Reynolds just go through the movie and just talk about it.
Yeah, but but
Ooh,
I
and
don't.
like, what about like an Easter egg mode where you could watch it and like as things
Mhm.
happen, it can like they like pop up or like it just highlights and then you can like stop, pull something up, and then explain something. That'd
Yeah,
be kind of cool.
I think there was a. I think it was a SpongeBob DVD I had that like while you're watching it, it would like pop up with trivia while it was going. So that
That does sound familiar. I feel like
maybe
I've
like the
seen that
season two
also.
box set or something like that. Yeah, like having just something to be like during this scene, it was actually raining, so they had to like, or just like little or like that
Yeah,
one
just
scene.
like tidbits you'd never know.
Yeah, like the one scene from Blade 3 where like he's at where Wesley Snipes just refused to open his eyes, so they had to like CG his eyes opening. They're like during this scene, like we actually had to CG his eyes open. Like, that'd just be a
Yeah.
little tidbit you never
Kind of
know.
like those guys on YouTube who are like, yeah, this fact and that, like stuff like that. I think that'd
Uh,
be really cool.
Although 90% of the facts are just, did you watch the movie? Here's a thing
That
from
is that is true. That is true. Well, the thing
someone
is,
earlier.
well, that's the thing. It's like when they started, it wasn't like that. Like it
Yeah.
started, I was like, oh, I actually didn't know that. I learned something new. That, like, and then it became like, did you know that they do this because this and that? I'm like, okay, now that one's just you
Yep.
didn't watch the movie. Like, yeah, it's gotten worse because the thing is, like, when it was one person doing it,
Uh,
it was like, okay, these are actually good. But then it got to the point where everyone's doing it because it's like even about things that aren't movies anymore, just about life. They'll be like, did you know that this person said this in an interview? They're talking about this moment. It's like I don't know if I'm getting old or that's just common
yep.
knowledge.
Did you know that in The Dark Knight, this thing that happened to, oh no, what's his name? Joker. Uh,
Heath
um,
Ledger.
Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger did this thing on set. It's like, that's not in the movie though. So, like, it's like, you can't just say in The Dark Knight
It's
and
like
then,
yeah, he's like in the Dark Knight. Alfred, he's like Alfred said. Some people want to watch the world. This is a reference to when the Joker burns the pile of money. It's like,
whoa.
ah, like I mean, like I get what you're trying to be like.
Hmm.
It's like good stuff if you haven't seen the movie, but if you've seen the movie, it's like A, that wasn't really a direct parallel to that, and
Uh,
B, that's just common
I've seen at
sense.
least 3 different videos that are like, did you know that in Infinity War, when Thanos and Doctor Strange are fighting, Thanos uses the Soul Stone to temporarily find Doctor Strange and knock his soul out of his body. It's like, yeah, his glove lights up. Like, I know he
The
used the Soul
screen turns the color of the stone he's using. I'm colorblind and I knew that. So it's like It's kind of, like I know they don't straight up say that, but that's pretty obvious. That
Yeah.
one's pretty obvious because the other stones, it doesn't really make sense how that would work.
Mhm.
Granted, they don't really explain how the stones work in the
But
most for the most part
details.
anyway, but it's like they're pretty self-explanatory.
uh, so yeah, if this little like trivia option can get rid of those people, that'd be cool. Oh.
Yeah, okay. I think that. Did you have any other things?
um, let me
'Cause I'm
think.
trying to think. I'm out of list, but I'm trying to think of anything.
I know Netflix and Disney Plus have like character icons for your profiles. Those are fun.
Hmm.
Um, which apparently on Netflix, the Boss Baby is actually the most used character icon.
Really?
Yeah, over
Maybe
11,
just because
11 million users have the Boss Baby.
I bet I know what it is.
Mm.
I bet it's like the kids account, and they
Ah,
just put the boss baby because
it's
it's
the
like,
baby.
oh, this is a 3-year-old. It's a baby. Boom,
Yeah.
boom. There you go.
Hmm.
That makes the most sense.
Um, I think. Yeah, I think that's everything I have. But like, generally, yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. But that's I think we think they just
Oh,
do the
maybe a
yeah.
notification system for like when new episodes are added on a show,
Yes, that's nice because I know every week
right?
Disney Plus does a thing where it's like, here's some new stuff that came to the service, but if you could like basically subscribe to shows, that'd be and
Yes,
like
or
get
like
emails.
certain actors or certain
Mm.
whoever. And then it's like, oh, we got a big Ryan Reynolds. This originally came up based on your preferences.
Yeah.
Do you want to watch it? Or at least add it to your list or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. So yeah, I think that'd be really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I think if I had to just pick two things out of this that I think are like my personal priorities would be getting rid of stuff on your homepage if you don't want to watch it anymore, and the cast list from Amazon. Like
Yeah,
those are
no, the castles for
that's
Amazon
oh so
for
good.
sure. That is like that's the best thing because that really gets you into stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
it gets you past the initial just oh that's it's like no, it's like you want to be in the movie at that point.
Mm-hmm. Right, and especially the song thing because like
Yes.
I am notorious for like hearing a song, being like, "Oh, what the heck is that song?" Hearing that song again 2 weeks later, what is that song? And then just like never like not hearing lyrics to look it up. So then like 3 years later, hearing it and actually like being able to discern what it is, be like, "Oh, it's that." What if I just, you know,
Right?
I
You can just look it up now and then you plus my biggest thing is like I'm not a person who listens to music based on like any kind of like band or like musician or
mm,
whatever. I like music based on how I heard it and what memory I associate with it.
yes,
So if there's a scene in a movie or a show that plays a song and it fits perfectly,
mm,
I'm going to associate the song based on that. So I want to know what the song is so I can think of that moment whenever I hear that
mm,
song.
yep,
So having that would make that a million times easier.
yep. Having that song that plays when Omni Man blows up that planet. That's those
Such
songs
the
are
same shit.
those image that image and that song are linked. So every time I hear it, it's good. It's good. I've
Yep.
I've always loved Billy Joel, but after watching The Boys, Huey, the main character, is like a huge Billy Joel fan. So like it plays a lot of Billy Joel stuff throughout the show. So I've learned a lot of new Billy Joel songs. Like that's
Hmm.
cool just from watching, and it actually telling me what the song is.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I feel like there was one other thing. Are there any other things about this that you want to bring up or discuss?
Make it less than $10 a
I mean,
month.
I don't,
Just because we can. And enough people, if it's the
yeah,
only streaming service, literally everyone's
that's
going to get
fair.
it. So
Yeah,
you can make it cheap.
yeah,
You will
because
be fine.
like as more services come out, people like Disney and Netflix are losing market share, so they need to up the price to keep their profit.
Right.
Yeah, well, if we just are the only one, we could probably charge $8 to $9. even $10 would
Right.
be
You can
perfectly
make
fine.
it inexpensive. Everyone's gonna buy it anyway.
Yep.
So it's like,
Oh, only have
let's.
one tier. There's no ads.
Oh, how did I not say ads? Oh my gosh, yeah, no ads, no ads at
Hmm.
all. No, I don't know, I was thinking about Netflix, so I just assumed there was no ads.
Right.
But yeah, definitely no ads like that. No, that's a killer.
Hmm.
No ads, and
Oh, so I know. So I know I just said only one tier, but I know Netflix has the thing. I think a lot of them have the thing where like there's one tier, like the base tier, only one person can watch at a time, and then like as you go up, like more and more people. Do you
mhm.
think just everyone who has access to this can watch it, or should there be a cap at like four people?
I'd say four. Well, yeah, I'd say four. I think
Because
four is enough.
like we are still theoretically as this mega monopoly still ideal want to make money, so we can't just have everybody watching at the same time.
Hmm.
Um, and like I think four people watching at a time, eight profiles per account. I think that's fair.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And yeah, like I said, they can each have their own little icons about whatever. One should be Batman, one's a Power Ranger, one's a Powerpuff Girl, one's SpongeBob. Just just
Just whatever.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's yeah. I obviously we're never gonna make this thing, but it's especially fun just like after watching, especially over COVID, just watching a ton of
Everything.
streaming content, having other.
Oh,
Mm,
I do like the Disney Plus like age restriction thing. Like you can
mm,
change. I think that's good too because you don't just have a 7-year old go on Netflix and just there's some boobies. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like so especially if
uh,
Netflix has some kind of raunchy stuff on their front page. So like yeah,
yeah.
definitely like a just to have it.
Hmm. Yeah. It's and for all we know, Paramount Plus could be the service that we're looking for. I will never know. Peacock could be the best thing ever. I will never know.
No, it's not because I know they don't show the whole show.
Yeah. Like maybe their player is the absolute best player on the planet. I don't know. But regardless, it's been very fun over the last couple of years, just seeing all the quirks and failures and benefits of each one, and just being like, the good parts of each come together plus some. I think that'd be
Yes,
cool.
that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Be perfect.
Mm-hmm. Like I wonder if Amazon has like a trademark on that like actor thing,
Probably
because
because there's no way people haven't seen that. Like they know, other people know everyone loves that. So
yes,
like they probably have some kind of clause that's like you can't copy it.
which is fair, I guess.
I mean, I think
I
it's smart because yeah, it's your best idea. It's literally the best thing they have
mm-hmm. Like their
by a
player
mile.
isn't bad, and like they're
No,
it's a pretty average player, but like that thing makes it top three for sure.
infinitely better.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Um, anything else before we wrap up?
That's all I can think of. Yeah.
Okay. So let us know down below if you liked our ideas or anything that you feel we missed. Is there anything particular from any streaming service that you particularly really like or dislike that you think is relevant here? Just let us know down below. And with that, we'll see you all next time.
Take care.